Hello. Hey. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Happy Friday. We have a lot of fun stories. I just heard myself from across the room, which scared me cuz I'm at home by myself. But yeah, what is up? How y'all doing? What's good? What's tea? Like, are y'all exhausted? Is you exhausted? I couldn't even say the word exhausted. I just, in the middle of the word, I was like, finish it for me. When I tell you I'm so exhausted from Christmas, honestly, I think it started Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving to like the countdown to Christmas, to getting through the Christmas, and then the New Year. Like, I don't have anything left to give. I have nothing. My son's birthday is tomorrow. And my grandchild's birthday was like a week before Christmas. And my daughter's birthday is a month away. And then my birthday is in April. So yeah, I am this is a real busy time of year, but I just don't have it. I don't have the energy. I just don't. And I'm trying. Like, I bought some NAD supplements. I've cut meat out of my diet. I'm drinking water. Like, I am trying to find the energy. I am trying to find it. I'm looking for it. I worked out today. I did the bike. I did the stepper. I walked outside. I got some sun. So I'm trying. I'm actively fighting it, but the spirit has left me. And I need to do something about that, right? I do. Speaking of spirit, because you need some. You're gonna need some in this 2025. This was a cute idea. And I don't know if y'all are into vision boards, but I wanted to share this before I forgot and things got, too long and it was like, okay, no. But went to a New Year's Eve party and they had like this vision jar. So what we did was we wrote down our goals for the year and I segmented mine like by different topic and I wrote them down. Now I do vision boards too. Like I have last year's there and the year before that, and it's likely I will do another one. But I do multiple vision boards. This was not my idea. This was Homeboy's idea, and I thought it was really cute. You open it up at the end of the year. You see what visions or goals that you've achieved or not, or put them on the next year. I'm very that. Put it on the next year. If you didn't hit it this year, 100%, because some goals take time, then you need to just put it on. Look, pay it forward. Push it to the next year. That's why I keep my older boards around, because I'm like, the goal I may have set for myself may take multiple layers and, you know, constant attacks at what it is I'm trying to get at. And so I was like, I'm not going to be able to solve everything in one year. So I think it's important to one, create them. I think this is a nice little like surprise, but I think for it to be effective, you need to be constantly confronted with what your goals are. And so that's why I like have mine like posted up here. Like if ever I mean, if I look up, even in my peripheral vision, I can see it. But I also create one for my desktop on my phone and on my computer. So like this monitor has one, and then my phone has one, and I created that in Canva. Canva is free for most. I think for the most part, like I have the pro version, but I feel like you can do a lot in the free version. You can just go and grab a whole bunch of symbols and things, images that mean something to you. Create your image should be, sorry, 1080 by 1920. I should know this like the back of my hand. I know, but it was such a hard thing. That's how tired I am. Anyway, 1080 1920 is going to be the tall rectangle, and you're going to put all of your stuff on there. You put a nice background, you save it as a JPEG, a PNG, or something like that. You put it on your phone, and you make that your background. That way every day when you look at your phone, you see your goals. That's how you're going to attack your goals. Constantly confronting yourself with like, oh yeah, remember we said we're going to do this. We said we're going to do that. That's how you're going to do it. With that being said, whew, speaking of last year and goals in general, a little birdie, by way of Jasmine Brand, mentioned that there might be a sequel to the Shannon Sharpe fiasco. I'm gonna call it a fiasco because it was a trip. I thought it was a trip, and there might be a part two. So was checking it out, and they said that actually Shannon Sharpe teased it on his show with Ocho Cinco.
Hey guys, it's your favorite unk here. Go ahead and click that.
And you're able to dissect and go back and listen to all the.
Let's go back a little bit. I don't want to.
Said he intentionally held back, leaving.
I mean, go. Precision finger.
Knockout blows out of his Club Shay Shay interview. Katt said he intentionally held back, leaving out all the knockout blows and left just jabs.
That's believable. I'm not sure how he knew, but those of you, that watched the Katt Williams interview, if you think about everything he said, and you're able to dissect and go back and listen to all the things he said that were going to happen.
Let me get it right. There it is. Sorry.
Ocho, Katt Williams said he left career-ending knockout blows out of his Club Shay Shay interview. Katt said he intentionally held back, leaving out all the knockout blows and left just jabs.
That's believable. I'm not sure how he knew, but those of you, that watched the Katt Williams interview, if you think about everything he said, and you're able to dissect and go back and listen to all the things he said that were going to happen in the year, you notice everything did happen. I don't know how he knew. I don't know who he talks to or who I mean, what inside information he might have, but everything he said, it came true. Everything he said came true. So there's some truth to everything that he knows, and the fact that he's saying I held back a little bit, he probably has stuff on people, and he just used jabs instead of throwing that haymaker. He could have. I'm assuming it could have ended careers.
There's a possibility that you might hear the haymakers very, very soon.
Uh-oh. Well, it's one thing. As long as I ain't in there, I'm good. Long as I ain't in there, we good.
Yeah. But he said he wrote it. I can tell you this. He's been writing more material.
Yeah. I don't know where he get his information from, but he be spot on.
He be spot on. January the 3rd, 2025 is right around the corner. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, it was kind of a weak hint, right? I mean, he didn't come out and say that they're going to do something, but maybe he was just trying to, put some interest out there. If people start talking about it, maybe Katt will come back. I don't know. But he, I think, was very intentional on letting folks know that he wants Katt to come back. He's been in communication with Katt. And my thoughts are like writing material. Is he writing material for this show? I mean, I think he's just writing material because it's comedian, period. But I wanted to find, as I heard it, I was like, let's find a list of things that he predicted, because I can't say with my whole chest that I feel like Katt predicted anything. I don't feel that way. I feel like the Diddy thing was probably like the most major prediction, quote unquote. But I'm looking at Atlanta Black Star here, and they said they have 5 things that he predicted. So let's see if that's true. It says, number 1, all lies will be exposed. Katt declared that entertainment A-listers would fall from their pedestals. Well, that is true. That is there. Some did. Some did. Specifically, he says, I came into this business saying I was going to expose. They canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Races are not where the line is drawn. I love that he says that. It's God's side and the other side, and we don't care nothing about the other side, period. All these big, you know what, deviants is all catching hell in 2024. I need somebody to explain that to me. It's all up for them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TD Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. Two for two. We saw the down spiral of Diddy this year for sure. And we did see, we saw TD Jakes in the mix too. Had his own legal trouble as well. I haven't paid much attention to that, but Google it if interested. We also saw legal troubles affect Jay-Z as well. And yes, indeedy. And some people actually said that TD Jakes were in attendance of Diddy's parties, which is crazy. Why are you going to the party? Okay, second thing was, yikes. He said he wanted to kill the careers of lazy bums that'll take a shortcut. It says here that targets of the non-mercy assessment were Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Faison Love, Kevin Hart, and Ricky Smiley. Kevin is not lazy. I'm just reading through really quick to see what would be. That's not quite. I don't think that's true. It says that what he said about Steve Harvey calling him a country bumpkin. I don't know if you guys remember that, saying that he did not, that he was lazy and that he was no longer doing stand up because he was, and that he used Mark Curry to pretty much create the foundation for his career. It talks about here that Harvey recently teased that he plans to do a farewell stand-up special where he will not hold back, including addressing Katt. He has not done a special since the grand finale in 2012. I listen to Steve Harvey almost every morning. I have never heard him address it. I've heard him address Katt sideways, like in a kind of a passive-aggressive way, but I've never heard him actually respond. In fact, he said he wasn't going to respond, but I don't even think you need to respond. Like, some people are just not going to get along. So I don't believe that this part is true. I don't think that he squashed anybody's careers. Outside of talking about, it says he spoke about Michael Blackson's fake African accent, talks about Faison never doing a tour in 30 years. I mean, those things never happen. He didn't do it before. He's probably not going to do it after. I don't think that's a big deal. He's talked about the rise and fall of Kevin Hart, and I don't think that that is true. I think Kevin is still on the pedestal that he's on. We'll move past that. He said that Gary Owen will never truly cross over in comedy. Gary Owen is a very popular white comedian. I know you've seen him all over BET. He's been on multiple comedy stand-up shows. He's done The Husbands of Hollywood as well. He's on that show too. He said he hasn't crossed over in 25 years. Well, I mean, I don't think he wants to. I think he's comfortable where he's at. Y'all, this was a horrible article. They just gave up. Anyway, what do y'all think? Listen, that's not number 5. Will Katt Williams' style of comedy be the standard? Atlanta Black Star, this was a travesty. I was trying to impress the friends with your article, and we went 2 in and then just gave up and just assigned numbers. Like, this isn't even journalism. I mean, this is a horrible essay. Stick to the topic. You have the title. You have to create multiple points to support the title. So I'm ashamed for you. What is Katt Williams' style of comedy? What are you trying to say? If you're going to talk about explosive rants or, bringing down Illuminati, that is not a style. That's more so an opinion. He has opinions, and that's how he chose to share those opinions. It's not a style of comedy. I don't think he came there to be funny at all. I think he came there to really tell the truth. I think he was feeling some kind of way, and he really wanted to be heard, and he was angry. He was angry because people spoke on him when he first got there. He addressed many points: the Ricky Smiley thing, the Faison thing, the Cedric the Entertainer joke. I've seen it several times now. Okay. I could probably teach a class on it. Like, that's how much it's like in the forefront of my cerebral cortex. Okay. The frontal lobe is locked in on that. So he had shit to get off his chest. Pardon my French. And I think he did. And I think it was like you know how you get into a good rhythm and then another thing, you're like, oh, they gonna let me talk? Okay. And he's just flowing and flowing. I would be surprised if a second interview has the same impact because, again, raw emotion. I know that. Okay, so what you think? So I'll tell you what I think before I ask you. So look, I know that I'm really good when I'm angry. Like, I feel like I'm a good speaker. Look, I feel like I'm a good speaker. I think I'm a good orator. Right? I think, the public speaking skills is there. But when I'm angry, magic. I feel like I do my best work when I'm irritated. When I was doing stand-up many moons ago, my material was like choppy at times because you're trying to figure it out, right? So I'm working it out and everything, open mics and stuff. But when I got heckled and it got to the point where it was like real egregious, especially white dudes, like, for some reason, I think because they were like, she's a woman, whatever. No one cares about what she has to say, right? Black women in comedy really have a hard way to go. But, once they get love, like, everybody supports them. But I'm in this room and it's like a bar in like Woodland Hills, like suburbs out of LA, kind of country-ish. And this dude jumps up, this bald-headed dude, and he was like, "You're not funny," It just, yeah. And when I tell you, I flipped out on this dude, I blacked out on this dude, and I was going in, and he had like a shaved head, so he became every skinhead. He became a devil. I just like blinked out. And he probably didn't deserve it because there's nothing that he said outside of that really would inspire me to give him 3 to 4 minutes of hell. But so maybe I brought my own stuff with me. But when I remember like coming to like, and everybody was on their feet. They was dying. And I was just like, what? So I know like when I am extremely angry that everything comes together. There's no ums, there's no ands, there's no buts, no filler words. It's like zinger, zinger, zinger. And when I see Katt Williams, I feel like he is really good when he's passionate, like when he's angry. So he had that on his mind coming in and like, these Negroes was talking about me. Like, oh, heck no, because he has some for Shannon for allowing those people to say those things, for not questioning them, for not using his own, like, having the same respect of like, you are a professional. Like, why wouldn't you look at this from a professional aspect? Like, how could these people look at that? Even though that's subjective, I feel like he not only wanted to give Shannon some, he wanted to serve everybody. And then he was like, since I'm here and I'm ready, and I don't usually do this, I'm going to give it to whoever else is waiting in the ranks, pretty much. So unless he shows up with that same, I don't think he feels like that marginalization or that like, these people are disrespecting me. So I would be surprised if he comes with the same energy. Like at this point, it's going to feel like Jaguar Wright, like recycling the same stuff she puts out on every single program. Because we've seen Katt go to Joe Rogan and do 2 hours over there. We've seen him do other things, and it's like, well, what else are you going to talk about? Are there 10 other people that have disrespected you? And I don't want to see Katt Williams come in and, well, here's a tea on Kevin Hart. Like, you didn't know this. Like, I don't want to see him give us more points to support what he said. Well, you said what you said. I feel like Shannon is trying to recapture the magic that happened. And I think it's okay to say that was then and this is now. I'm not saying that Katt Williams should never come on, but Katt needs to come on. I would love to see Katt come on in a different capacity where he could be promoting a project or, you know, or showing up in a different kind of light so that we see another aspect of him, because I also don't want to see him become like typecast as that guy. He's so much more than that. And he is a person that puts a lot of people on. So like, honestly, as a lover of comedy, I would love to see like all the people that come, for instance, Gary Owen, I think came on the show. Gary Owen was on Shannon Sharpe show later on that year. And to see, other people that tour with him and, to hear more about like what's like on the road with Katt. Like if it was something like that where he's sharing the limelight with other people. Maybe some things like that, not like, what else you gonna say? Or tell me what you think about Trump. I think I personally super turned off, and I'm using Jaguar Wright's name because like she is the most prevalent person that does this. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but like you put yourself in a box. Like what else you do? Like, we know you sing, and then you got to have other things going for you. There are times where I watch Jaguar where she'll slip off into something completely different. And I'm like, oh, this is something that you should talk about, or this is something that you should do. Like, even like some of the things are philanthropic stuff, like where she's working with artists to do other things. Lean into that more, because the rumor thing and not rumor, but, just the salacious topics, funny, I should say that while I'm on this show talking about this stuff, but I won't be talking about it tomorrow. And I won't be talking about it next week. You know what I mean? Like the topics change, the intentions change. Like you have to change for people to keep showing up. No one's going to show up if you're doing the same thing. So I think Shannon would be stunting the growth of his show if he does this, because the show was like this. If it goes like this and goes, okay, we're going to do that again. Katt Williams isn't your like jack in a box of like what's going to happen next year. Like he's not a genie. If you want a psychic, hire that lady. What is it? Sloan Bella? Like bring a psychic in, bring the psychic that Jay-Z talked about. Jay-Z was responding to Tony Busby on the, what is it? Whatever his company is called, Rocka something. I want to say Rockaware, but Rockefeller? Is that what it is? I don't know. Whatever he does, that page, in that little dissertation to Tony Busby, at the end, he was talking about fake psychics. He's talking about Sloan Bella. And it's funny, like, you're going to mention this woman who I didn't even know she was on people's radar like that. Bring in one of these people. Bring in somebody that, like, this is their job. If you want to have an outlook on the year. And the thing is Sloan Bella actually is, like, running around taking a victory lap. Like, I'm the one that said Jay-Z was next, because she did say that. She said that, like, I want to say last year. So if you want the hocus pocus and all the magic stuff, then yeah, why not that? But, I just also think that you're going to set yourself up. Like, what if you don't hit the millions and millions and millions of views that you guys hit before? Sometimes you got to know, like, this is good enough. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just going to come off to people like it's desperate. Like you're trying to recreate something because you're running out of ideas. And I know he's not. He had Kai Sinet, is that his name? The streamer. He's had a ton of different, he's shaking it up. He's having more women on the show, which is something I've always had a problem with like, why don't you bring in more, notable Black women? And he's doing that. And it's not just the hot girls. He brought in Monique, right? He brought in Kiki. There's a lot more people that he could bring in. There's people who don't fit the hip hop aesthetic, people who are urban that are still Black, people who are doing stuff in the country. And it doesn't even have to be like a whole hour. Like, I like it when you bring in two people. I think that's kind of cool. So with that being said, that's his show. He can run it the way he wants to. I don't think it's a good idea because it's going to set us up for an expectation. I think it's going to it's going to drag the whole energy out of the mythical thing that we experienced last year. Let it stay where it's at. That's my 2 cents. So we'll see. We will see. The next thing I wanted to talk about, Lord, Trump is out here blaming Biden. So Trump's blamed Biden, his policies, for the recent terrorist attack in New Orleans, despite evidence contradicting his claims. The incident, which occurred on New Year's Day, resulted in the deaths of 15 people when a vehicle drove into a crowd of partygoers on Bourbon Street. Now, the man is identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar, a 42-year-old U.S. Army veteran that was born in Texas, okay? He intentionally drove a pickup truck into the crowd of New Year's partygoers, folks on the street. Before the attack, he posted some things on Facebook expressing his support for ISIS and also wanting to harm other people. He did express that. After crashing the vehicle, if you haven't seen the footage, there were some, he definitely attempted to pume people and got pume back. I'm starting to see videos of the folks that are, that survived and hear their stories. And my goodness, it's really sad. But this is your guys' president. Just wanted to read this for you. And I'm gonna have to lean over to do this. It says, our country is a disaster. Is it? He says it's a laughing stock all over the world. This is what happens when you have open borders. With weak, ineffective, and virtually non-existent leadership. When's the last time he crossed the border? I'm just like, that's not the border that I've crossed. The DOJ, FBI, and Democratic state and local prosecutors have not done their job. They are incompetent and corrupt, having spent all of their waking hours unlawfully attacking their political opponents, me, rather than focus on protecting Americans from the outside and inside violent scum that has infiltrated all aspects of our government and our nation itself. I'm getting just irritated by reading this. Democrats should be ashamed of themselves for allowing these things to happen to our country. How would you suggest that they stop this? This kind of stuff just grinds my gears. It's been 3 days now. 2 days, right? Two plus the day it happened. He knows that this man was a U.S. citizen. If he didn't know in the first few moments, okay, silly. But you know now. You've been known. And the guy that pulled up the Cybertruck in front of, the Trump Tower, same thing. U.S. citizen. Former military. These are the most patriotic of us. These are the most patriotic of us. Why is the conversation not, we've got 2 military vets. We've got a problem here. Back to back, like something is wrong. Something about our military Vets' mental health needs to be assessed. Let's look at the statistics on how, if in fact these men are more susceptible to being, I'm gonna call it flipping, because I don't know if there's a conversion or whatever is happening here. But, why are we not focusing on what we need to do for our soldiers? Why is that not the conversation? Creating a narrative, it makes me so upset that y'all let these people come through the border. The man lives in Texas. The man is from Texas. I understand the discrepancy that was created because the car was driven over the border before somebody bought it and then put it on Turo. But that right there was worked out. It was worked out in a matter of minutes. We did not think that this person was a non-U.S. citizen for days. Like, that's not how it took place. And he put it up on Truth Social, and he put it up on his Twitter, and he has not taken it down, and he has not doubled down. And that's dangerous. So I was looking at this article, and it said that having held President Joe Biden to the standard, Trump is now at risk of having his withering verdict flung back at him should a comparable attack happen on his watch, which starts in just 17 days when he takes the oath of office. And the reality is that something's going on. They send him messages, and I feel like the more aloof Trump acts in response to these things, the angrier people will become. And so I think that we might see a lot more incidents as time goes on. And we've got, lots of people gathering over the next couple months for various events all over the country. Acting like it's some invisible group of people crossing the border, infiltrating us, doing these things is not the case. Pretending like we don't have problematic citizens in this country is crazy. Ignoring, I think, and being passive aggressive and funky with the truth is really going to create a problem. And I'm not even a supporter of Trump, and I'm thinking like, man, I wouldn't handle it like that, because you're going to piss somebody off. That's why I just think you're just really going to piss people off to the point where they're going to show you. These folks love to get credit for the things that they do. And by you sitting here and making it out to be like, it's the immigrants, and I think the whole thing over the HB1 visa and Trump talking about like, we need more good people, in the way that the MAGA folks are like tripping out, like they feel so betrayed because they were like, you said no more immigrants. He was like, I just said I didn't want any more of the bad ones, but we need lots of immigrants, lots of them, to take all the good jobs because we need good people. So like they're so confused because they were thinking, oh wait, we thought we were the good people. We thought that you were trying to help us. And he's like, no. It's a great program. It's a great program. Oh my gosh. So I caught this while I was watching videos today. Crazy. Ice-T had a Karen moment, and honey, they, whoever this, what channel I get this from? I think it's Long Crime, but they ordered that body cam footage right away. I want to play it for you. I thought it was kind of funny.
Sir.
What's up, officer?
Officer, just let you know you're being recorded, okay?
I'm headed to the DMV. That's where I'm going to get all my registration and everything.
You know your registration expired since 2021.
That's where I'm going.
So you have your license expired as well.
That's why I'm going to the DMV. Give me my paperwork here.
Yo, don't touch me. Don't
give me
like that.
Give me my paperwork. Get this on camera.
Legendary rapper and actor Ice-T, best known for his role as Detective Odafin Tutuola on Law & Order, was pulled over in New Jersey for what looked like a missing front plate on his Porsche. Things took a turn when officers found his registration and license were expired, leading to a heated exchange with the star.
So I can't play the whole thing, but I'm going to do like parts of it. Hold on.
Sir.
What's up, officer?
So as I'm scrubbing this, I'm gonna tell you. So he and homeboy get into it, and the guy had a lot of patience for him. So he basically says, I'm headed to the DMV. I went yesterday, but the systems were down. And so I got all these cars and I'm getting them registered today. So when they found out that the license was also suspended, they were like, okay, homeboy's like, okay, pull over the car, because you know what happens then. Pull the car over, I'm gonna write you a citation, and you're gonna have to, this car is gonna be towed, right? So Ice-T is not having it, and he's angry about it. And so he's like, well, you should have made an appointment for this. Why didn't you make an appointment? Which I think was an odd question too. Black people don't make appointments. I'm just kidding. Yes, we do. Anyway, so he goes, they know me there. And I was like, this is his way of saying like, I'm a celebrity, you know? But we had that moment for a little bit. So they get the bickering and stuff, and Ice-T getting the homeboy face. Let me see if I can take you to that part at least. Because I want you to get, okay.
Work, you're fucking.
Yo, don't touch me. Don't
Give me
like that.
Give me my paperwork. Get this on camera. This motherfucker is. I'm a foot away from DMV.
Keep your distance.
You are a fucking asshole.
I'm not an asshole. You've been an asshole to me.
I'm an asshole. I'm trying to get to the DMV. I showed you all the paperwork. Let me start with.
We forget that Ice-T is somebody's grandpa. I know he looked cool and you remember him from back then, but he is literally somebody's grandpa's age. Hey, Google, how old is Ice-T? 66 years old. He's 66. He's 66 on you. Hey, Google, stop. Stop. I didn't ask for that. Stop listening. He is 66. My dad is in his 70s. I know my dad would have lost it. Like, you know, he's like, you know how old people, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. How many times I gotta say it? Let me do what I need to do. And it just so happened that the DMV is like at the block or something, which is wild to me, which I was like, because you know how people be like, I'm on my way to the hospital, or, you know, I'm on my way to the DMV. I'd be like, word, like that's for real. You want me to believe that? You want me to believe that? Let me get you there.
Oh, sir.
What's up, officer?
Officer, right now.
I'm a foot away from
you,
DMV.
keep your distance.
You are a fucking asshole.
I'm not an asshole. You've been an asshole to me.
I'm an asshole. I'm trying to get to the DMV. I showed you all the paperwork. Let me start recording your dumb ass.
So 5-6, start the hook and start another unit.
Alright, you're in the parking lot for Dunkin' Donuts, right?
So 5-6, let me see.
Irish communications to SO83.
The actor began recording as the officer called for backup. Ice-T appeared visibly angry, frustrated that the officer didn't give him another option to register his vehicle.
Irish SO83. He's going to be 90.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you to. So then, like, the sergeant comes, and well, sergeant knows who he is. So let's see if I can get you right where I need you to be. Okay, is this it? Finicky.
Down to 2?
Sorry.
Okay, all right, no, it's up to you, bro. I can't tell you. Okay, all right. All right. I can't tell him as a sergeant what to do. Okay? I can guide him and I can make a recommendation. He's going to give you 4 tickets, okay? I asked him not to give you the 4 tickets, but he could bring it down to 2. He said, no, he's giving you the 4 tickets.
What are the 4 tickets?
He says you have no front plate, no inspection sticker, no registration, and your driver's license is expired.
Okay. All right.
All right?
Call them and
did, yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
So I know if you want to come with me or...
Yeah.
Okay.
So they know that that you're not going to get the tow and that you're going to...
Yeah, I'm 11 right now.
Okay. At some point, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if he told you, but everything's being recorded on these body cameras, so... Okay.
So, as for my sergeant, we're not going to tow your vehicle, but you're receiving summonses. Here's your keys. Here's your paperwork, driver's license, everything you gave me. You're receiving a ticket for no front plates.
Where's all the other paperwork?
It's in there. Everything you gave me. It's in the vehicle. You have no inspection, driving expired registration, and driving with expired license.
You're, like I said, you're gonna leave the car here and just go to DMV.
I'm walking DMV and handle business.
So, but you do know your registration is expired and your license too. Right?
That's what I'm going for.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that I didn't know if you just knew your registration was expired. You got both.
I got everything.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right. No, I'm good.
All right, you told
Just
him
the way he shooted me, I was gonna park the vehicle, no tickets issued, but just next time show some respect. That's all I gotta say.
I don't have to.
Okay, I don't have either.
All right,
So
That's what I was trying to get to. I don't have to, is what he said. I don't have to show no respect. Ice-T, come on, bro. You said no. But when he was talking to the sergeant, like his tone changed, and he was and the sergeant was like buddy with him. It wasn't like an extreme change, but like he was like, yeah, man, you know, blah 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 blah, and it was like da 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 da, you know. So like you could tell that one, either he's interacted with that guy before, or he just has like this. Dude, he plays a damn cop on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I kind of felt like there was a mutual respect, but you know, I think he knew that he was going to get the tickets. I mean, it's kind of like up to your discretion. Like, dude, I'm about to be there. Like, because there's a point where I think he even said, you can follow me over there. Which for me, I was like, if I was, the time it takes to write a ticket, if you didn't want to be bothered with that, let's say you don't have a quota, like they say they don't have quotas, but they do, then you would go on your merry way. You would be like, all right, bro, we roll up there. I see you park and then go on. But I'm not going to tell you how to do your job because you can't tell me how to do mine. So I get that. But if it had, you know, if you had better things to do, just know that I'm really about to do what I said I was going to do. So I could totally see that. I would throw it out there too, because if it's right there, then I would feel some kind of way that you stop me. Because when you're breaking the law, there's always that moment like, man, I wonder if I'm going to get pulled over while I'm trying to rectify this situation. And you get like within a few yards of the place and somebody stops you and it's like multiple citations. Now, here's something I don't understand. And I'm like, so Ice-T, I want to know why you are running errands on your own in New Jersey. Why are you, I mean, I know he's from there, right? Like, why don't you have a personal assistant doing this stuff for you? You can get all these things done online. I know you can. And I get maybe you deciding, well, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get it done today, especially because it's the top of the year. But still, it's like at the same time, you could still go to these places without driving. You can afford to have a car take you. And everyone, just so you know, like the DMV has a special entrance and sometimes they have special entrances, but they will definitely have other services for people who are politicians and for celebrities. They don't have to stand in line. Have you ever seen your favorite star stand in line? And if you did, he didn't know or she didn't know. They have other resources for people in another place. It may be in another room or like a private area. Trust me, I know. So he would not be going and standing in line unless he didn't know about this stuff. But I'm pretty sure he has. He's been like a celebrity his whole life, pretty much. So like, it's funny that he got caught in this situation, but he was being disrespectful to the guy. And I think the guy was like thinking about letting him get away with it. But when he saw the license was in the, okay, you ain't got your license plate. Like, sir, like, it's a lot. it's a lot. It's a lot of tickets. It's a lot of money. And, going off because you didn't handle your business, but you want to get mad because he's stopping you from handling your business, but you should have handled your business beforehand, is the epitome of entitlement. Ice-T has been a white man for a very long time. He's been a white man all this time. Okay, so I've got a somber story. This is one that I've been seeing it on social media more than in the news, even though this is a news segment. But I did want to, I felt bad for this family, so I did want to share the story if this is a story that you had not heard of.
Back home now, a nightmare scenario just days after Christmas. Cincinnati police are investigating the death of a three-year-old girl killed by 2 dogs. And tonight we sit down with Kingsley Wright's mother as she begs for answers. WLWT News 5 Sean McKinnon joins us in the studio. So Sean, what exactly are police telling us tonight?
Chris, Cincinnati police say it happened in a Roselawn home around 8 in the morning yesterday. Kingsley Wright was simply spending time at a family member's house. When her mom got the news, her daughter was killed by the dogs.
Oh no, not Twana. Baby! I'm not gonna get to see her sing anymore.
Kingsley Wright was just 3 years old. Now, instead of unwrapping gifts together, Gina Smith is burying her baby girl.
I just want to know why, how.
Cincinnati police confirmed they're investigating the little girl's death. When first responders arrived in Roselawn Friday, a heartbreaking scene. Kingsley was killed by 2 dogs. Officers are advised to turn off their body-worn cameras.
I think we're going to need animal care to respond here to secure 2 dogs.
Smith says her child was spending time with family for the holidays, but she had no idea these dogs were dangerous.
I would have not allowed my baby around vicious dogs.
Okay, let me interject because they're being really kind with the story. So, baby girl was dropped off to her father's house. She had not been to her father's apartment. I don't know if this was a new visitation order or not, but she was dropping off her daughter to the home for a visitation for the holiday. The baby had not been acquainted with the dogs before. The dogs did have crates, by the way, and I know that there's at least one other sibling in the house. I'm not sure how many. Apparently, the father put the baby to bed on the couch. It's questionable. I'm going to say this right now because people are interpreting this 2 different ways. They don't know if at the time of the time of putting the baby to bed, if the dogs were placed in the crate. And this is why. Because when he called 911, they said, "Where are the dogs?" And he said that they're in the crate. And some people interpreted that as being, where were the dogs? Where are the dogs? Were the dogs in the crate the whole time and they got out? Or the dogs did this to the child, and so I put them in the crate until someone comes. So like that is a part that people are arguing back and forth. And I understood it as they were in the crate and they got out. That's how I interpreted it. But I saw someone say, no, he meant that they're in the crate right now. Because the question is, did you leave the dogs out with your daughter there? He did not know the children. Sorry. Whoa, that was crazy. The dogs did not know her. She did not know the dogs. She had never stayed the night at this particular place. I don't know if this is her first time staying the night at Daddy's house or whatever. But there's a lot of discourse, as you can imagine, online because of this. And they haven't named the father. He was brought in, but I don't think there's any charges against him as of yet. They're trying to figure it out. But there are some people that are arguing this point. If you're not a parent, this might be a little abstract, but having a 3-year-old in the house, why on earth would you place the 3-year-old on the couch to go to sleep? Now, I have a 5-year-old grandson. I have 3 children. There was a time where I tied a bell to my front door because my 2-year-old was tall enough to go and unlock the door and open it. He literally could do boop, 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 open it. There was a time where I've actually seen him do it. My worst fears came true. We were all playing in the front room. He walked over to the door. He unlocked it. He opened the door, and he just stood there like, I just did that just so you know, and looked at me crazy like, and I was like, oh my God. And we lived upstairs, and we had a flimsy little staircase. One of those flimsy staircases, you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't made out of wood. It was like concrete steps and like a rail, like a metal rail. It was scary. It was scary for me to even go up and down those stairs sometimes. And when I'm telling you, I was like, oh my God. So I bought these bells and I tied them on the doorknob. So if ever he did that again, he never did it again. He's a smart kid, but it was just like, I was scared. And then one day he was like, yeah, what you think? I could do that. And he was a smart child that could talk early, that was coordinated, you know, even though that was a menacing moment. I just knew that I would never be able to feel comfortable being away from the door and not know if somebody went to that door. During the pandemic, my daughter and my grandson were here. And so I have an alarm system, and whenever a window or door is opened, it announces it. Sometimes you'll hear it in the background. That thing will wake me up out my sleep. I did that because if my grandson got to the front door to open the door, because children love to open the door, right? Then I would hear it. So I just do not understand, of all the things in this story, why he would place a 3-year-old child on the couch and not in the room with him. I don't care if you got a significant other or whatever. Like, why would you put the baby on the couch? And I know some people that have done this, right? If you have a significant other, I don't know, okay? I'm just using this as a hypothetical. If you do have one, then why not you sleep on the couch with your baby? You come out, make a pallet on the floor, put her on the couch. That way you can make sure she's good just from the outside world, let alone having dogs in the room. Now, I'm afraid of everybody's dog. I am afraid of everybody's dog. Everybody's dog is a suspect. I grew up in the hood. I seen dogs. I seen how they act when they get in packs. And I'm imagining that these 3 dogs weren't like, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, especially a little person. We've all been told, all of us adults have heard at least once in this country, at least once, that small children should not be left around dogs because they see little people as animals. We've all heard this at least once. So this is where I get angry, because I know there's a certain type of individual who will hear warnings and they're like, yeah, that ain't, yeah, nah, that ain't. That don't pertain to my shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, you should cross the street at the crosswalk because you don't want people to. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do it right here. You know exactly what type of dude I'm talking about, right? That you could explain to him, you could show him the statistics, you could do all of that, and I'm gonna go ahead and think this through, and I think this is the thing, and they do not follow the rules. They do not think about what could possibly go wrong. I'm thinking with 1 dog, I'm stressed out, but you got 3 dogs, 3? And on top of that, even just a curious little mind, well, the puppies are, let me go and help the puppies. I'm not saying this happened either. I don't know in what condition they found her, where she was. But I'm thinking, even like my grandson loves the grand dog. My older child has a dog, right? And she's scared of everything. She's scared of her own shadow. Which to me, I'll be looking at her crazy like, she could be suspect too, because she's so afraid of everything. She might be wanting to protect herself. And my grandson can't wait to get at her. I mean, he's so enamored with the thought of this being. He's never been around a dog before. So he's just like, curious, as they should be, but he's 5. The 3-year-old version of him would probably walk right up and do one of these and do one of these and grab the tail. And so I would not leave a young child around a dog because of the curiosity factor. And a lot of children are not afraid of dogs. Even if I just didn't want her to let the dogs out because if you let them out, they poo at 6 a.m. and we don't want. See where I went with all this, all these tangents, all these thoughts is so I'm just like, none of this crossed your mind. So apparently he didn't hear the attack. He didn't hear her cries. He slept through the attack and woke up the next morning and found her. And some of these guys was like, I mean, have a heart. He lost his daughter, like don't, you should be, what? No, because there were so many check boxes that you could have, so many hypotheticals. I've listed a few of them. You guys could probably help me. That if you decided you could have done, you know what? I don't want to have to clean up no poo in my, so I'm going to go ahead, and she would still be alive today. There's so many ways he could have made it through where that visitation would have been fine, and she would have went home with her mama. And what's unnerving is for the parents that know that their former partner, while they may have been sufficient to have a child with, right? The pick better people are probably saying that now. You come to a realization that some people are not good parents. There's really no way for you to know how people are going to parent unless you see them in the act. And then you don't know if someone's going to be the same parent in front of you that they're going to be by themselves. Those are facts too. So I don't know the situation. She didn't go into a visitation or what do you call it? Custody or anything like that. But I saw some people in the comments too that were like, this is, my fear of sending my child to my ex's house. They don't do this, they don't do that. I'm worried about this, and this is my worst fear come true. And I'm just like, this could have been prevented. This could have been prevented. Y'all, cancer. Alcohol causes 7 types of cancer. I have some family members that are dealing with an alcohol addiction. And it's really taken a toll to the point where it might actually win. So I've been thinking about this subject a lot, and living here in LA and definitely being a part of, nightclub, party culture, networking, just being in the mix. You could drink for free every night if you wanted to here. It's a part of the culture, unfortunately, and trying to get away from it is hard. And one way I've been able to kind of just honestly manage my alcohol consumption is not being out. That really has been the best way to do it. In my dry months and stuff, like those were really hard times because alcohol is available. It's free. When I say it's free, like open bar, okay. It's really hard to get away from. And it's like, it's poison. It's not good for you. Like, that. But like to find out that the glass a day, I'm old enough to be a part of a glass of wine a day. Oh, okay. Or you can have a little wine at the end of your pregnancy. Okay. Like express your milk. You'll be fine. Like I'm a part of all that. So I've seen it. I've seen all that go to like, like just a little drop is detrimental for your brain. What? Like you didn't tell me this. I'm already addicted. I'm committed to the lifestyle. I got a full bar here. What? You know what I mean? Like, They were stingy on the details. So the U.S. Surgeon General has released a new advisory saying that there's a link between alcohol and 7 different types of cancers. And I wanted to share this with you. One, because I know someone, like I said, that is near the end of their life because of alcohol and far too young. And when I started looking at these threads, I saw other people whose relatives were dying in their 30s and 40s from alcohol related issues. That's sad, man. It's such a waste, right? Oh man. 35, dying at 35, potentially ruining your liver at 42 over alcohol. Here are the 7 types of cancer. Breast cancer. 1 drink per day may increase your risk sevenfold. Isn't that crazy? Something is called colorectal, and this is a common cancer in men. Esophagus cancer. This happens in this tube right here. Your esophagus goes from your throat all the way down to your stomach, your abdomen. Liver cancer, very obviously, because your liver filters out everything that comes into your body. There are cancers of the liver, and you also can get cirrhosis of the liver as well. There's when you drink alcohol, you can ruin the liver. Mouth cancer, throat cancer, and your voice box, which is your larynx. It's where your voice emits from. You can get cancer in there as well. So I think it's interesting, like every part that the alcohol touches pretty much. I don't know what a colorectal, I guess that has something to do with your your colon, because it doesn't say colon, it says color rectal, rectum. Those who know, those who know. Yeah, so like crazy. Throat, mouth, your larynx, your esophagus, your breast, your liver. Those cancers are not, those are painful ways to die. It's colon and rectal cancer. Okay. So the colon, very painful, very painful. A lot of young people die from colon cancer, don't realize that alcohol is a contributor as well, especially Black men. That's why y'all get your colon, colonoscopies or whatever the things they start looking at the colons really young. Like I had my first, there's different ways to check out what's going on in the colon. So I had something, they looked at some tissue. Well, I don't know. I had to donate some stuff, okay? and I did it at home and I sent it in. So that's the first layer, I think, and then they will go in and they'll look deeper. So I didn't have whatever they were looking for, so I was fine. But they said that via Kaiser they start that at 45, but they were like, nah, we're gonna start a little bit earlier than that. So people should expect between 35 and 45, especially Black people. So if they haven't started talking to you about that, do that. Also with breast cancer, a lot of Black women are supposed to be checked earlier. In California, I think the age they start checking, getting mammograms and whatnot around 35 to 40. And if you have a history of breast cancer, then you need to check way earlier, and you need to do it every single year. Yeah, guys, it's crazy. Let's bring the energy up here. This is fun. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but let me change it for you really quick while we're here. So I was scrolling on the internet, and there was this super cute moment. I'm queuing it up for you guys right now. Super cute moment that I was like, oh my God. But I was like, what am I listening to? What is this? Let me do reset. And I was like, what is happening here? Oh, wow. And I still think it's cute, by the way. But maybe some people don't think so. Reset. There we go. There we go. She good at what she do. Yes, she is. Okay. I just kind of want to crop out some of the noise, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So with that being said, have you guys seen this? Oh my God.
We ain't getting no younger. Run, run, do it. Tell you I'm a wonder. I'm myself. Let's get married. Better get married. As we younger, you were just. We ain't getting no younger. Run, run, do it. Do it. Do it. Let's get married. Baby, let's get married.
Okay, hold on. That's how it starts off. She's recording and she's, aww. That's cute. She said yes. Okay, so so people were like, because that's Jagged Edge's song, and they were like, the edges do not need to be that jagged. Just like, I love the bride to be is the only opinion we need in this conversation. And although it seemed like he was running out of air, I could see how someone would be like, hey, Jeffrey, I need you to like do me a favor. I could see that. Like, I'm gonna need for you to like to sing the song. Yeah. Okay, I got you. But I would have done this. See, Jeffrey is probably good with a choir, right? So I would have had him singing with everybody. I think I would have did that. I would have probably had I'm running out of sunlight, so turn this light on. I would have probably had him and the homies, like everybody, because then it's like an energy thing. And then, you know, if he's like not hitting the notes, it's okay because we don't hear all that. We don't hear that. We know you know, you're doing this at the goodness of your heart. The goodness of your heart, right? So, is this the one? I guess I'll show you guys this one. So the Material Girl, we have seen her in so many different looks, right? Over the years. But who is this? I'm talking about her. I'm not talking about that black man with her. I'm not talking about them cheering either. I'm talking about the woman. Her face. Madonna has figured it out. She has started 2025 with a bang, honey. She said, I'm not going to let these new girls get a new face and I don't get a new face. Look at the face. So apparently she says that she's been to hell and back, that she was dealing with health issues. And that's why her face was distorted. That's a cute story. But we know that you were the victim of pillow face just like everybody else. You were. And you ain't got to sit here. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Somebody injected all that stuff into your face and told you that no. It goes away after 2 to 3 years. And my problem with that, I'm going to give you a better picture. My problem with those injectors and all those people, look at her. It is giving brand new, fresh and new. Look. They did her right. They are doing her right. They are doing it right. Give me another 50 years to act a fool. Listen, forever 49. Forever 49. It's okay. Just keep resetting the clock. I don't want to be 28. I want to be 49. Over and over and over. Look, serving looks, serving chiseled chin, sculpted, but lean in the inside of the face. Because when they add that little the puffies there, you look like you're swollen. You look older. You look older. Look at her face. That ain't even your face, girl. Like, she was like, give me number 11 on the menu. She almost got a little bit of a Kardashian thing happening there. Got her little perfect pout and everything. Madonna ain't never looked this good. Look, she ain't gonna do. She's like, I'm giving you all the looks. Oh, I love those gloves. I bought gloves like that when I was a teenager, when she probably wore them for the first time. Still hanging out. Look at her. Look. You got a young man. You was like, I'm going to get a young face. You guys, the pillow face epidemic is coming to a close. And what's crazy to me is that I'm like, what were the conversations like when all the injectors took off their scrubs and sat down? Like, were they laughing at us when they were like, they believe that? Because my whole thing was like, they will tell you when you go for your Botox will last for 4 to 6 months. That's what they tell you, right? Depending on how much you get though. So if you get just enough or a small amount, then of course you're working out your face. Your face is going to wear out, metabolize much faster. But if you get more than what you should get, like the works, give me the works, then it takes longer. And I think that when people realize it, if you're the type of person that doesn't want to stay on, there's two different type of people. There's one that's like, I'm gonna show up every single time because I never want my face to move. So you're getting it done and you don't know what's happening underneath because you're like, freeze it. I'm of the mind to think that these people, let me flip it, that these people who got the filler were like, what's the schedule? Every year? Gotcha. I'll be back. And they were just coming in and getting it done. The part that I don't understand is like, and maybe because I'm a full face person, like no matter what size I'm going to be, I'm always going to have chubby cheeks. Like if I notice I'm chubbier than normal, I'm gonna fight somebody. Like I don't want my face to be too full. I want to look like a grown up. I want to have some dimension to my face. So I don't understand the psychosis that happens when you're getting stuff injected into your face and you're like, oh, schedule. It's time to get more. Like you're already good though, right? So apparently what happens is that is it hyaluronic acid, I believe? Is that what it is? What is it? Whatever they inject into your face actually attracts water. So that it attracts a little bit of fluid. So it gives you that nice little, lifted oftentimes in places where you need lift, like go lift your face up a little bit, not a lot, but it will fill out areas, especially gaunt areas that will happen as you get older. As you get older, this part of your face starts to lose facial fat and things start to travel downward, right? So you'll start to notice like bags or discoloration and things of that nature. So you put a little something underneath, the fluid pumps it up, and it gives you the appearance of something smooth on your face and a lifted, beautiful look. Now, I'm assuming, because they haven't really talked about this, that over time, it keeps on collecting water over and over and over and over, which causes a more distorted look. And then it starts to migrate from different parts of your face. So maybe when you got something in your temples, maybe it starts to move here. Maybe you got something in your cheeks, and now it's starting to move here. So you notice people's faces are starting to kind of like look like this, you know? And I don't want to show her bad pictures because I like that she looks good. And I don't want to make fun of her. I'm having as much fun as I can by talking about it. I'm not going to sit here and ever come for a girl for how she looks, because I'm not a beauty bully at all. I'm not playing those games with you unless I don't like you. If I don't like you, it's on the table, bitch. I'm just kidding. But I don't have no reason to not like her. And it takes a lot for me to not like somebody. So long story short, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a before and after. But what I'm saying is that there has to be a mental piece that comes with this, because you keep your face get bigger. And they think they look good. The same thing happened to Jada Pinkett. The same thing happened to, what's her name? Chrissy Teigen? If you go look these people up beforehand, you're like, wait, what? But some of these women think that this added girth looks like youth. Like a chubby face, a full face is youthful. And in some ways it is. But not on your frame, though. Like now you look like you're swollen. So I don't think it's just an issue of like overzealous injectors. I think the injectors just told us what they read on the labels, and the labels said that. Because I noticed it when, check this out. So like I had this little bag under my eye, like there's a little line, or like, I said line. It was like, you know how bags are, they kind of protrude a little bit. Like there, like right here, but right there. Right. And I had it my whole life. And so once I was starting to when I could wear makeup, then I could use powder and stuff to kind of flatten it out. It was like right. I'm going to do it like on this eye because you can see better. So it was right here. Right. But it was right there. And as I got older and started using makeup, then I could kind of hide it. But when I got tired, or if I wasn't wearing makeup, then you could kind of see, I could see it more than anybody else. So I went and got like filler in that area. And they told me that it would last 2 to 4 years. I got that done in 2014. I've never gotten it done again. I've never had it done again. I was like, y'all lying to me. So you know how people have 11 lines? Like they have really, maybe I can't, okay. You can kind of see now. See the 11 lines? But like there's different types. There's some people have 11 line where it's like a protruding muscle. And then they have some people have like an etched line. So I had etched lines that were like super tiny. Like, gosh, I'm trying to find the measurement. Okay. So can you see? No, you're not going to be able to see. So it's probably as tall as my pinky. The nail on your pinky, right? Just one line like that. 2 of them like along the line of here, because I have a very expressive face. I've learned how to control it. It's taken me my whole life. But I will talk with my eyebrows. I'm one of those people, you know, so it looks like I'm mad sometimes. I'm like, girl, what's up with the face? Like, which emotion should I pick one? So anyway, I had these 11 lines, just little, you know, is that an inch? Like I said, just, so just right here. And they were So even when my face was relaxed, you wouldn't see it. But over time, like let's say I'm if I was doing something like this, where I'm like, presenting and talking and I'm being animated on purpose, afterwards you would kind of see it. So I went and got it done, and I got it done with a doctor. I got my filler done with a doctor, and this is why. Because a doctor knows where to go on your face because he does facelifts. So he's like, yeah, I take people's faces off all the time. And I'm like, exactly, because if you put something in the wrong place, then you can blind somebody. You could it's not a joke having somebody inject into your face. Trust me, like never, ever let someone that is not licensed to do this. And my preference is somebody that is a doctor. So I had a doctor, black doctor, Dr. Truesdale in Beverly Hills. He is the one. And you got to look at his work for facelifts. Amazing. He's got grandmas looking like hot girls. Beautiful, natural, ethnic work. Natural. He has a show that's actually going to come out on Bravo, I think this year or whatever. Dr. Truesdale, check him out. He has an online presence. So anyway, long story short, he put the very tiniest bit of filler in those lines. And he was like, yeah, it'll last for 2 to 3 to 4 years. I'm like, That was in 2020. When I tell you, I used to look at those things all the time, and I'm telling you, it was the tiniest bit, and it was like immediate. Because the lines were so fine. Again, only something that I would notice, that I would fixate on. No one's ever said anything about it. Not that big of a deal. But, it was just like something that bothered me. Fixed like that. And I will probably... Okay, I won't say never because I'm aging every day, just like you are. Like there's a certain point where I will start to have more, wrinkles on my face and whatnot if I allow myself to age. But potentially it could come back in that area. It could, or it couldn't, because they say filler is lasting forever. So yeah, I am happy that I never got into the craze of like adding filler to my face. Because I feel like I'm the type of person that it would just stay and I would be walking around here with the pillow face. Now I will say this, like my sister and some of my girlfriends, can never keep filler. They will get it put in their face, and for some reason or another, maybe because they work out so much or they had high metabolisms, the filler would just go away. Like after a few months, it would just go away, and they cannot keep it in their face. They also have a hard time keeping any fat on their faces. Like their faces are very gaunt, unfortunately. And so anytime they put anything in their face, like it burns right away. And so they kind of have a more chiseled skeletal kind of a look because they can't keep any facial fat. So I think it's important for you to know, one, like, if you got to be at a stable weight. If you're like gaining, losing, it's not a good look. I feel like with Chrissy Teigen, she's been pregnant a lot, and I feel like that is probably why her face is kind of expanded and everything. It's like you got to get to a place where you're going to decide, or is this the weight we're going to do or not? And then we can attack what's going on. But they can dissolve the filler, but that has an even scarier reaction sometimes for some people, because obviously because things change. And so when you push this area out, mind you, look at my face. If I lost a whole bunch of weight, my skin's gonna start sagging. Now my elasticity will kick in at some point, but sometimes we lose before our skin can kind of go back. And for some people, it may never go back, depending on your age and your genetics, et cetera, right? So if you go and you dissolve everything, you're still going to have to take care of the loose skin that can also make you look older, which it looks to me like Madonna has not only reduced the volume of her face, but had some sort of skin tightening treatments as well, whether she went under the knife or she just did some Morpheus or something like that. I don't know. But I am fascinated by the girls that go and get these new faces, because on the outside, you look young. And that for like the rest, I mean, If I was hanging with Madonna, I'd be like, okay, like, let's go. Like, I wouldn't think that, girl, you 60. Like, no. I would just be like, let's go. What are we doing? But what happens to your friends? What happens to the people around you? Now that you look young and you look sexy and you got these young guys, like, what happens to, like, your life? What happens when people pass on and you still look young? I want this to be studied. I'm so fascinated by this. Like, I collect videos of people who've got facelifts in like their 50s and 60s. And I'm just like, what? I collect the videos because I want to talk about it. That's why I'm not a weirdo. But I just like, I want to delve into this topic. So this is kind of like my entry into that to see how y'all like the topic. But it's just like, what happens? Like, Nana got a facelift. She looks 45 now. Is she going to be with your granddaddy now? I mean, you know, people are like giving her rhythm and like hollering at her. And, how you doing, Miss Lady? Can I take your groceries to the car? I mean, should she rock out with Ice-T mad because he got to go and, you know, some old 66-year-old man that's mad because he got caught doing the wrong thing, you know, and he coming in the house angry, and she up here like, this young man asked to take my groceries to the car, you know, like, it's Friday and it's almost 6:00 here in California. I enjoyed this. This was fun. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Cecily Jamela, and I produce content here on YouTube. I also have a podcast as well. If you prefer to listen, the podcast is called News-ish. It's available on Amazon, on Spotify, and Apple. So these these shows go up there. With that being said, I see some likes. I appreciate you guys checking me out and everything. I don't know why the live chat was disabled. I'm still learning how to do this, but nonetheless, this was fun. I'm going to go ahead and log off and get into the weekend. I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Yeah, be safe, be mindful. Look, be mindful, because it ain't nothing nice out here. There's an energy in the air. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel. No matter where you go, always look for your exit route. Always look for the exit route. Trust your gut. Something feels weird, gotta dodge. Somebody feels a little weird, a little strange. Don't be polite. Get the fuck out of there. Walk away. If there's a commotion, if there's a fight, there's something goofy happening, don't go towards the fray. Go away from the fray. Do not film. Do not go into it. Get away from Dodge. Face the doors, face the windows. But always, not just now, always know the exit route. Always know how to get out of a place. Look at people in the eyes. Phones down when you're out in public. Do not have your phone in your face. Do not take your eyes off of people. When you cross people, look at them in the face, even if you have to smile. Sometimes it's little cues like that to let people know I'm not the one. Even if you're like, hey, good, how you doing? You're probably not the person that they're gonna mess with. A nod. Sometimes you gotta look at people crazy too. There's times I will literally look. Sometimes I'll just walk next to somebody like this, like, you'll get the hello and an I'm not the one, all in one sentence. Like, I could tell the energy is a little bit off. How you doing? Yeah, like, I'm acknowledging you, but I'm not playing with you. Do not be polite. Teach your children this. I was thinking about this. I'm about to go. I was thinking about this because I grew up in the hood, and it's like I'm raising my children in the valley. And I just assume that everything that I've learned that they're going to learn. No, because I'm not in that space. I'm not fighting for my life. I'm not scared. I'm not, I'm not oppressed. I am oppressed, but not in, it's not so outwardly. But they don't have that experience. And there's a part of me that wanted them to not have that experience. I was like, I don't want to, I don't want to damage you. I don't want to, break your spirit. And I don't want to transfer any undue anxieties onto you that I have from like my parents who grew up in, civil rights era, and they were heavily oppressed where they're from and that sort of thing. But it's necessary for these children, especially if you have black boys, to know that their danger is out there. And danger can walk right up on you at any place, at any neighborhood, at any time. And things are not right. So I think that we need to have a lot of conversations with each other, conversations with our kids, that you can't be giving people 2 and 3 chances to get it right. If the vibes ain't good, retreat. With that being said, have a wonderful weekend. I might see you over the weekend if something pops off. But I'm going to work on some long form stuff and some shorts. So